Good afternoon, Western New York High School football fans. Welcome to WNYathletics.com, where we are coming to you live from Sweet Home High School for some Saturday afternoon Section 6 high school football action. John Simon here alongside Tim Chifa as it's homecoming day here at Sweet Home as the Panthers play host to their division rival, the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. And these two teams somewhat on different sides of the spectrum of their season so far coming into this game, Tim. The Panthers 3-1 on the season. North Tonawanda 1-3. We're now starting the back half of the regular season, last 4 games, during the 8-game regular season slate. So both these teams still at a point where their season could go either way, so this is a big game for them this afternoon.
Yeah, great to be here, John. Great crowd, homecoming crowd, like you mentioned. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. But like you mentioned, two teams kind of going in a little bit of different directions. Sweet Home started the season off with a bang. I think won the first 3 games. Had a tough loss last week. Lockport ripped them, I think, 41-0, I believe. So very curious to see how Sweet Home bounces back. That'll really show the character of the team and show, what they have, for the playoff stretch here.
In Sweet Home, they got off to a 3-0 start last season in the COVID-shortened spring season back in April. And then their last 2 games, they fizzled out. They got beat by Williamsville South here at home, and then they got crushed by South Park on the road to end the season. So for Sweet Home right now, they just got beat up by Lockport, and that's the big thing is how are they going to respond, Tim? Because every year the Sweet Home team always has talent, but sometimes they can get in their own heads a little bit. So today they're playing a struggling North Tonawanda team at home. It's homecoming. They've got a chance to improve to 4-1, which is a great place to be at 5 weeks in. Most teams would love to be at 4-1. So they just got to play their game today and not play down to North Tonawanda. And that being said, the Lumberjacks, tough start, but we had their game against Ken Maurice a few weeks ago. We were talking about before we started. They're a team you can't count out. They definitely have some talent on that side.
Right, absolutely. We saw them battle back against Ken Maurice. They showed some, against some adversity, came back and won. I think it was their first home win in a couple of years, I believe. We got told that night. But for Sweet Home, I think, the coaching staff has to tell this team, we can't look past North Tonawanda, getting – sometimes, I hate this line, but sometimes a loss is a good thing. And maybe last week kind of put that back in check a little bit, back to reality a little bit, and say you have to show up every single week no matter who you're playing because, anybody can win at any time in one football game.
Sweet Home comes into today's contest tied for 3rd in the A North Division. They are tied with Kenmore West and Star Point, each of those teams holding a 2-1 league record. North Tonawanda currently in 7th at 1-2. So the A North, pretty competitive division, Tim. Only 4 playoff spots available, and Sweet Home is right in the mix for those last 2 spots. So this is a big game for them as well in that race, trying to stay in the playoff contest with everybody else. But Panthers set to kick off here. They are in the all-blue uniforms with the gold helmets. North Tonawanda in the all-white with the navy blue. Kicking off for Sweet Home here is sophomore Stephen Butler. And this one's a little short, going to be fielded around the 30. Returner gets a nice block but doesn't get too far. Nice job by the Sweet Home special teams unit. And we'll see the Lumberjack offense start this thing off this afternoon.
Yeah, North Tonawanda led by the quarterback, Nash Rieselman, number 4. We got a chance to see him play against Ken Maurice also. Had a great second half. Let's see if, how the second half of the season is going.
And despite this being a division matchup, Tim, first time Sweet Home and North Tonawanda are playing each other since 2018. North Tonawanda won that game right here at Sweet Home 20-17. 1st and 10 carry for Dennis Johnson, and he's able to get about a dozen on that one. That immediately moves the sticks for North Tonawanda.
Yeah, nice little counter run. Good hold by the offensive line for North Tonawanda. Giving a quick 11, 12 yards for North Tonawanda.
And this is a team that got off to a slow start against Star Point last week and fell into a quick hole. North Tonawanda was down 27-6 at halftime, ended up falling 33-6 to the Spartans. So they want to look to get off to a better start today, get some points on the board, and keep the Sweet Home offense off the field. Despite the fact that the Panthers got shut out last week, they've still got some talent on that side as we get a flag thrown here.
You got a false start, I believe, on the running back that actually got the ball, number 42 for North Tonawanda. Sam Heim, just a little quick to get the ball there. But you mentioned about, getting themselves in the hole last week. I think that's what the coaches had to emphasize for North Tonawanda. When you don't have, the firepower that, you've had in past years, you can't get yourself in a hole like that. You're just never going to come back. So I think, the way they start the game has to be emphasized by the coaching staff for North Tonawanda.
And they do have a strong run game between Dennis Johnson and Sam Heim. They've got two very good running backs. Riesemann also in his second year starting as well. Here's Johnson again with a carry. This time Sweet Home not going to give him much. Jordan Theodore, one of the Panthers, in there to make the tackle. And that'll bring up, looks like, second and about 11.
And we were mentioning earlier, just before the broadcast started, that it just like the overall numbers, I think North Tonawanda is struggling with too. I'm looking at the sideline, and I see maybe 10 kids over there that are actually dressed to play. That's just tough, That's just tough when you have to have 11 on the field at all times. You're going to see a lot of people, a lot of players playing both ways and special teams. So let's see how that comes into play in the third and fourth quarters.
And keep in mind, this isn't like a B or a C or a D school we're talking about. This is second largest league, Class A. And I was talking about how tough the North Division is. You're North Tonawanda. You're playing some of these teams that in past years were up in Double A even too. And so when you have low numbers like that, not only if you're not as talented of a group as some of your opponents, just lacking in depth compared to the other teams that you're playing too, that's going to hurt you as well.
And not only that, you got to figure that some of them are going to be, underclassmen too.
Right.
So when you have a smaller staff already, and then some of them are sophomores or even freshmen, you're always at that disadvantage. It's tough for this coaching staff.
So Sweet Home takes a penalty, helps North Tonawanda there. It'll be second and about 6 for the Jacks. They're just inside the Sweet Home side of the 50. Riesemann going to keep it after faking it to Heim. Gets a gain of about 4. That'll bring up third and short. So just a little over 2 minutes gone by here on the opening drive for North Tonawanda. Mentioned the Lumberjacks 1-3 on the year. They're on a 2-game skid. Fell to Star Point last week.
Yeah, I think, their one win, John, that we did, Dennis Johnson, I think he had 4 touchdowns against Ken Maurice.
Yeah, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving. Like I said, him and Heim, they lead a very strong rushing game for North Tonawanda. And Heim's going to get it here on 3rd and 1. He plows his way forward, gets another first down. Lumberjacks keeping the opening drive going. They're moving the ball down the field well. They've taken a couple penalties, Tim, but they've weathered the storm. This is a solid start. This is what you want to see. You're the North Tonawanda coaching staff.
Yeah, and you see a little bit of old school high school football in North Tonawanda. A lot of these games we do now, they have 4 or even 5 receivers sometimes. North Tonawanda has 3 in the backfield, almost like a wishbone type thing with a fullback and 2 tailbacks, only 1 receiver. So they're not trying to hide that they are going to try to just jam it down their throats the best they can and kind of go old school football here and try to win the game in the trenches.
And boy, would they love to cap this opening drive with points. Back-to-back weeks, they've only put up 6 points. I mentioned they lost to Star Point last week. Week 3 against Lockport, lost 52-6. So they would love to get points on the opening drive. Johnson on the handoff here does a nice job holding on to the ball, and he's able to move ahead for another nice gain. You saw Sweet Home. They were really trying to knock that ball loose.
Yeah. And the thing is with North Tonawanda and this kind of offense, you mentioned, having trouble putting points on the board. It's so important on 1st and 2nd down to get those multiple 5-6 yards, because if you're not a throwing team and you get in a position where it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, you're just not going to complete those too often. That's where the drives are stalling all the time for them.
So this appears to be about 2nd and 5. North Tonawanda now on a 4-minute drive here. And, Tim, these opening drives for teams, if you can take a lot of time off the clock on your first possession, it seems to really wear out the opposing defense early. But there's Sweet Home able to wrap up Heim quick. Last night, I was out with Tom Prince at Iroquois as the Chiefs were playing Pioneer in a Big B South matchup. And even though Pioneer ended up losing by 5 in a very close back-and-forth game, they wore out the Iroquois defense, went on a 9-minute drive to start the game. And even though it didn't end with points, it was still very effective because it just kept that Iroquois defense on the field so long and kept their high-powered offense off the field. Exactly. That's how they kept the Iroquois under 20. They just had the ball so much.
One of the better quarterbacks in Western New York. The better you can keep him off the field, the better chance you have.
So big third down here for North Tonawanda. Need about 5 to get the first. And Dennis Johnson gets his legs chopped out from under him. We'll see where they mark it. Looks to be about a yard short. But they're definitely in 4-down territory here, Tim. Got to think they'll keep the offense out there.
Yeah, so big play here. It should be about a 4th and 1 here. Let's see if the Sweet Home defense can step up here and get a stop to get the ball back for their offense.
And that's what I mean, though. So, like, even if North Tonawanda doesn't end up getting this first down, they turn over on downs. But really, most high school kickoffs, that's where teams start their drive anyways, around the 30. So they don't put up points, but they're giving Sweet Home a normal starting spot. And you run a good, 5.5 minutes off.
Right.
Off on the first drive.
And a manageable 4th down. You have a good chance to get this. So.
With the way that their run game has been, they got to have full confidence that they can get this. 3 backs behind Rieselman. Maybe looking to get Sweet Home to jump. Going to hand it off to Heim. He's able to push his way forward, and it looks like he got enough to move the sticks.
Nice job there by the offensive line for North Tonawanda, holding their ground. Obviously, wanted to do a hard count to try to get the freebie. That didn't work, so they just needed a quick dive for a yard and a half, and it worked perfectly.
Officials today, referee Ken Harris, umpire Rudy Hober, linesman Augie Taboni, and line judge Ferris Marone. Not even thinking that one was close. Heim able to get that easily on the 4th and 1 carry. And you talk about Heim. So far this season, coming into the game, 37 carries, 203 yards for about 5.5 per carry. Only 1 rushing touchdown, though. Like we said, this North Tonawanda offense, they have players just not producing points lately. And there's Heim again. No gain on that one, though, as a group of Panthers get to him quick.
Yeah, good job by the DM for Sweet Home, Momo Koloko. Good job holding his ground there, just kind of going parallel with the line there and able to stop the North Tonawanda running back for a gain about a 1.
Koloko, a 6'1", 200-pound senior. One of the leaders on the Sweet Home team, was a big player last season. Like I said, Tim, Panther team last year started off 3-0, got off to a great start. Even had a great first half against Will South. I was at their game here. It was 28-28 with a minute before halftime. We went into an hour-and-a-half long rain delay. And then coming out, the Billies were just the better team. And from there on, Sweet Home's season just took a quick tailspin. As like I said, they got shut out by South Park at all high 50-0. And with the COVID-shortened season last year, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
But they're looking to bounce back this year, get back in the playoffs. And, we talk about how tough the A South division is with South Park and Jamestown and Frontier and Will South, and Hamburg's having a great year. West Seneca West is down there. But this A North division is tough as well. Got a big third down coming up here for North Tonawanda. 3rd and 8. Approaching 8 minutes of game time on this first drive for the Lumberjacks. Johnson on the carry, but quickly nailed by a couple of Panthers. In there was Jared Harris, number 7. And this will bring up 4th and not short, Tim. So this is tough for North Tonawanda.
This is the scenario that we kind of talked about where they haven't attempted a pass yet, correct? So now you got to assume you're going to try to throw here. You're probably not going to run the ball for 8 or 9 yards unless you catch them by surprise. So let's see if North Tonawanda still goes with the 3-back offense. So they try to change it up a little bit. Looks like they're putting at least 2 guys out to the right. So changing up a little bit. Let's see what they can do.
Rieselman's only thrown the ball 51 times this season through the first 4 games. He's got 2 receivers to his right. He's going to look to throw after faking the pitch to Johnson. Dialing up a deep shot. That one incomplete, but a flag is thrown. And I'm not sure what they're going to call here, Tim. The pass was intended for number 21, Justin Van Volkenberg, but the Panther defender on him, Nassim Ziegler, didn't look like he held them at all. So I wonder where that flag is going to be assessed.
They got a hold, I think, on the near side or the far side cornerback, not the one that was actually the one for the going for the play.
Okay,
it was the other one. But they got him on a hold and a first down for North Tonawanda to keep the drive going.
That's a crucial penalty for Sweet Home. You were able to get the stop in that area, get the ball back, not give up any points. That's
and we're
tough break.
We're at 3 minutes already in the first quarter. They haven't touched the ball yet.
That's what I mean. This is very reminiscent of the Pioneer drive I saw last night. Just run the ball, run the clock, keep the opponent's offense off the field, and take the home crowd out of it too. Last night, Iroquois was packed. Fans were still coming in 5 minutes into the game.
And plus, how anxious are the Sweet Home offensive players to get on the field,
Sure.
get going. The blood's going. They want to get out there.
So 1st and 10 now for North Tonawanda. They're inside the Sweet Home 20 at the Panther 17. Still on their opening drive with 3:09 to go here in the first. They hand it off. Or no, they don't. Rieselman will keep it. They fooled me up here, but Panthers defensive front able to keep the gain to a minimum.
Yeah, good job out of the tackles of the Sweet Home defensive line there, holding their ground, not falling for the fake like we did, and just able to hold North Tonawanda to a yard there.
I'm hoping that means you fell for the fake as well.
I was looking to the left, yeah.
All right, so I wasn't the only one. That's good to hear. So it looks like they gave a 2-yard gain there to Rieselman. As we near 2.5 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. North Tonawanda looking to move back closer to 500. They're 1-3, 1-2 in the division. And we get a whistle just as the ball is snapped, flag thrown on the far side.
I would assume it's an illegal shift or some kind of movement because the play stopped. Yeah, got a false start. We'll bring up about a 2nd and 13, I believe.
And Sweet Home will certainly take some flags against North Tonawanda. Defense will take any help that they can get here. As costly penalty on 4th down a few plays ago extended the Lumberjack drive. So they're right around the 20. Rieselman under center. He'll hand it off to Johnson. Goes to the left side and doesn't get much, but able to move forward for a few yards.
So you got to assume, John, that I'm not positive, but I don't remember them having a kicker the last game that we played. So you got to assume that it's 4-down territory from here on in. I don't remember them kicking any field goals.
No, it was Kenmore East, I remember, tried, I think, a field goal in that game. But North Tonawanda, no, I don't think they have much of a kicking game.
I didn't see anybody trying there in warm-ups. I was looking for it.
They have no one listed as a kicker either. So we'll see what they draw up here. They were able to make it 10 yards. But North Tonawanda on the verge of having possession for the entire first quarter. Just about 90 seconds left here in the opening frame. Rieselman quickly rolls to right. He's hit as he throws. That ball lands incomplete. And what a shot he took there. Jared Harris came flying in and knocked the wind out of Rieselman there.
Yeah, nice job by the linebacker on a blitz there. North Tonawanda unable to pick up the blitzing Harris, and he popped the quarterback good there. Knocked the ball right out of his hands. Was going for, though, so an incomplete pass. So brings up, I believe, a fourth down. Sorry, I can't see the scoreboard, John.
Yeah, that's a 4th down. It'll be 4th and 10 from the Sweet Home 18. Looks about closer to the 17. But North Tonawanda, as Tim said, in 4-down territory here. They don't have to get a touchdown, but they do got to get 10 yards here. Got to get to about the Sweet Home 7. Rieselman fakes the pitch, gets it quickly to Heim. He's able to avoid the first tackler. Now he runs into a few. Going to keep the wheels turning. He might have got enough.
That's close.
We'll see how they spot it, but
really like the play call there. Great fake by the quarterback. Turn around for a screen. To number 42, Sam Heim, and it looks like he got the first down.
And Heim is the guy that you would go to on that play, listed at just 5'8", but 195 pounds. It's a big, burly fellow with the ball, and he can move. He was their leading rusher last season, one of the top 2 this year with Johnson. And that's the second successful 4th down conversion now on this drive, Tim. So North Tonawanda can get points. They have certainly earned it here.
Great play call, better execution.
1st and goal from the 6. Rieselman going to hand it to Heim. He goes up the middle again, able to carry a few defenders with him as he gets down around the 2 or 3.
John, when's the last time you've seen a team have the ball for an entire quarter?
I was going to say I've seen 2 very long drives this year. I was also once at a Michigan State game against Iowa in the Big Ten Championship where they ran the last 9.5 minutes off the clock and scored the go-ahead touchdown with about 30 seconds left. That was fun. But no, an entire 12-minute quarter, I don't think I've ever seen something like this. But NT, I think, they're going to run this down. Doesn't look like they'll get another playoff in the last 10 seconds here. They might get one. They may have to. Their last play ended with about 45 seconds left. Direct snap to Johnson. He'll run it to the left, and he finds the end zone as the clock hits 0. So North Tonawanda holds the ball the entire opening quarter, and they cap it off with a 3-yard touchdown run from Dennis Johnson to take the early lead.
I don't know if it's actually possible to draw up a better opening scenario of the North Tonawanda coaching staff. I mean, that was absolutely perfection. They just ran it all the way down their throats. 2 fourth downs that they converted, and then right as the buzzard sounds, Johnson runs it in for the touchdown. Very, very impressive there.
For Dennis Johnson, that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, first since week 2 against Kenmore East, as Tim and I mentioned.
When we're there.
Yeah, we had 3 in that game. That's the only other game he scored in. North Tonawanda line up to go for 2 here. Griezmann going to go with the jump pass, but that one incomplete. So Sweet Home stops the bleeding at 6. That'll do it for the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. 6-0 Panthers lead North Tonawanda. We'll be right back for more here on WMI Athletics. I know, yeah. Tell them we'll do a quick.
Go to commercial real quick, then we'll go to Francis.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Go ahead.
Sweet Home scored second quarter. Scored on their first drive of the game. Kept up a long drive. You know, I'm paying attention to this Sweet Home sideline. You think homecoming, lots of jitters, but I'll tell you right now, they're pretty calm and cool. Let's see how this offense looks when they finally take the field. John, Tim, back to you.
Thank you very much, Francis. That's our own Francis back down on the sideline as we start the second quarter here between North Tonawanda and Sweet Home. The Lumberjacks with a 6-0 lead after a whole quarter drive. First 12 minutes of the game, NT's offense holds the ball. They cap it off with points, and now we'll see the Sweet Home offense for the first time, Tim.
Yeah, so before the game started, John, we mentioned, was Sweet Home going to be able to knock off the 41-0 loss to Lockport, put it in the past? And so far, I'm a little concerned about that. Let's see what they can do here, but that was taking on the chin that first quarter. I mean, that was a pure beatdown by North Tonawanda. Let's see if the offense can bounce back here and get them back in the game.
Going to see senior quarterback Jake Dunstan, first-year starter for Sweet Home, as Tyrell Laws was their play caller last year. 1st and 10, they're going to do a little bit of a jet sweep. And that one going to Brandon Whitehead, but not much of a gain.
Yeah, and it's North Tonawanda. They got some confidence right now. That was a huge drive for them. You know, a nice stop there on first down. Let's see if they can keep this going. But I think North Tonawanda is feeling really good about themselves, and Sweet Home's got to do something pretty quick to get this turned around. You know, people don't believe in momentum. I completely disagree with. Momentum's a huge thing, and right now it's all with North Tonawanda.
Oh, like I said, with Sweet Home, they are very much a team that can get inside their own heads, and when they're on, they're on. They're always a team that has athletes, as here we see a little bit of a reversal. This is Elijah Crawford on the carry. Nice little change of direction, able to pick up the first down. Panthers right around midfield, and they're off to a nice start on their first possession. But like I was saying, Tim, they get in their own heads. When they're on, they've got athletes, they've got big linemen. They're on. They can play with the best of them here in Western New York.
Yeah,
But when things don't go their way, they
unravels
cave
a little
very
bit.
quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what they have to do. They have to not let the snowball effect from the first quarter happen. But that was the first time I even heard the crowd. So the crowd's been completely out of it.
Right.
Sweet Home needs to get that. It's a full crowd here today. Homecoming, a lot. The whole student body section's filled. They need to make some plays, get this crowd back in the game.
Snap here to Dunston. They hand it off. Jordan Theodore getting his first carry, and he bursts up the middle for a huge gain. Tackled just shy of the NT 30. But Sweet Home establishing their own run game here. Tim, Jordan Theodore with a huge first touch.
Yeah, great job by the big guys up front. Jason Smith there, really nice block there. Great job by the offensive line for Sweet Home, giving him a chance for a big game there.
So Sweet Home now into NT territory. They're at the Lumberjacks 32. And like I mentioned, Tim, Sweet Home, they've got a lot of athletes. You've already seen 3 different guys touch the ball, make big plays, or not big plays, but at least plays for gains for the Panthers here.
They want to get their athletes out in the open, give them space, and try to make some plays.
Theodore was a starter last year for the Panthers as a sophomore. Dunston looking to throw here. He's got an open man, just overshot him. Was looking for Crawford, the 6'1 senior receiver. But Dunston just a little overzealous on that throw.
Yeah, that's one Dunston I think you'd like to have back because Crawford was open, would have been a quick 6 there, but that's all right. They'll go back to that play because that was open there. But you see the difference in offenses from North Tonawanda and Sweet Home. That play, Sweet Home had 5 receivers just on that play. I don't know if I had 5 receivers on my team when I was in high school.
I was just about to say, just from how they line up, you can see the differences in the offense. You mentioned North Tonawanda only lining up 1 or 2 receivers in most of their packages here. Sweet Home's got 4 out wide basically on every snap so far. 2nd and 10. Dunston quickly pitching it out to Theodore. He's able to avoid the first few tacklers and get a nice gain. Picks up about 4 on that run.
Really nice play by Theodore because the pitch was a little behind him. That could have been disastrous. Very athletic play to not only catch the pitch, but then avoid the first 2 defenders there and get some positive yardage.
So that makes it 3rd and manageable for the Panthers. They'll make it, I think, 3rd and 5. 3rd and 4 is how they have it on the scoreboard. The Panthers looking to answer a very strong opening drive from North Tonawanda. If you're just tuning in the last few minutes, Lumberjacks had the ball the entire first quarter, and Dennis Johnson scored a touchdown as time expired. Theodore here on 3rd and short, and he's able to go up the middle for a first down and then some.